Greetings, fellow Americans. Susanna for President 2028. Welcome to the 2025 edition of Franklin Delano Roosevelt's Fireside Chats. A lot has happened in the last few weeks. That is definitely something to talk about. So, there's been a significant amount of uproar in the last few weeks due to Donald Trump's executive orders and DOJ's illegal status as an agency. There have been a pileup of lawsuits that have been filed against the administration, the current administration, as well as various people within the administration, and even Donald Trump himself as the head of the administration, the president. Many states have joined in with lawsuits, as well as individuals who have supported these lawsuits. One thing, I don't really appreciate anything that has diminished our nation. And 90% of the actions that Donald Trump has taken has done exactly that. Diminished our nation. Things like halting federal funding for people all over the United States, various agencies, as well as foreign nations that we have already committed money to help, to send to help. These are prior agreements that were, made before Donald Trump took office. So he's not just doing this to our nation, he's actually doing it to everybody. He's doing things like punishing agencies and businesses that do not do away with their DEI programs, like colleges and some other agencies like the FBI and whatnot. If they don't comply with doing away with those programs, he fines them or he tries to get them fired, releases them something or another, because he is being defied by people who know that this is unconstitutional. These agencies, they help create equality. Their DEI programs help create equality within the workplace. That is something that our nation has been working for many decades. It seems like just a few people are trying to bring it down. He also appears to be, on the immigration front, separating children from families, or sending them, even though they are legally citizens of the United States, these children, he's taking them, his immigration raids are taking them out of school, trying to anyway, and sending them to another country with their parents who might be illegals. I understand going after people who commit crimes and ejecting them from our nation, but I believe it's more reasonable for people who have been here a long time, even though they are illegals, to petition the people for a chance to stay, for a chance to earn their citizenship. The way that Donald Trump is doing it is not, it doesn't give any kind of chance like that. I do understand where a lot of people are coming from when they say that illegals should not be here. No, they shouldn't. Those who have been here for decades, though, or even just a decade, even, may have at some point made a significant impact in our economy. So, at least giving them a chance to petition the people seems like a more logical and legal solution than just ripping them out of the place that they've been in for many years. Those who are just coming into the United States are a little bit different. They typically, in all likelihood, do know what's going on with our nation. But choosing to ignore that can cost them the ability to be able to come back to the United States. And that's why it's important to still take the legal pathways, even now. All in all, Donald Trump's immigration seizure, if you want to call it that, of people is unconstitutional at this time. And it's incomplete. It's not a plan that helps ensure the continued legality of the pathways that people choose to enter the United States. I've also read that he's going after news media. I've heard that he's ejected certain press members from the White House press meetings, press briefings. This is a violation of their First Amendment rights. Freedom of the press, freedom of speech, being able to ask those questions. Just because the president doesn't like those questions, he's having them ejected. He's also trying to get reporters like Rachel Maddow, who have been outspoken against him and his administration, removed from their positions at their respective agencies. People like her, they exercise their First Amendment rights to give the public the truth. This is like a mirror image of Vladimir Putin. Having people ejected and silenced just because they oppose the leadership, because they don't like what the leadership is doing, and they speak about it. It's a mirror image. You can definitely tell that Donald Trump worships Putin, idolizes him. He's trying to do the exact same thing that in our nation that Putin has done in Russia. The exact same thing. I find it very difficult to believe that the people voted for this, and it calls into question the validity of the votes that were taken in this last election. In the comments of one of the articles that I read about Rachel Maddow, I stated that if she resigns, or if she is forced to leave MSNBC, I believe that in protest, the followers of MSNBC should unsubscribe from whichever social media channel they happen to view MSNBC on, and follow Rachel Maddow directly, and just be her followers. It's a form of protest, a peaceful demonstration, a First Amendment right. The Declaration of Independence states that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the form or forms to which they are accustomed. We have a choice. These evils are not sufferable. We do not have to put up with them. We do not have to tolerate them. And the more people that speak out about this, the better. And people are speaking out. The people speak. And just because they speak, people in the government want to silence them. Myself included. The more people that listen and pay attention, the more likely we will make it through this unconstitutional behavior. We've certainly learned a lot about Doge in the last couple weeks. And their status does seem to be illegal as an agency. Elon Musk seems to be an oversight type of person for this agency. If he was actually a member of the government, if he had actually taken that oath of office, then he would be stopping Doge from having anything to do with our information until they become a verified agency through Congress. And I don't understand why this has not happened in the first place. I have stated this at least once before. Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency does not have permission to access any of my individual information for any reason. And my information is to stay out of their databanks. Now, there have been reports that the head of one of the agencies has been summoned to court or to Congress, I believe it is, and that the Trump administration refuses to produce the head of that agency. This is blatant defiance of our laws. I've seen reports that Donald Trump is supposedly reining Elon Musk in, but that's not what it seems like is actually happening. What it does seem like is that Elon Musk and his team are completely defunding, or at least attempting to defund, agencies that are necessary programs for the functioning of our nation. And none of this benefits the people. It benefits the few rich. And it's baffling that this is happening. I hope that this is making you think, those of you who are watching. Between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, thousands of government workers have been fired from their jobs. And some people actually took the buyout offer they were given. I'm going to tell you right now, in my administration, these people will not be eligible to work for the federal government, because taking that buyout shows that they can be bought, and that is a traitorous act. I have another quick topic, and that is related to our military. I've always valued our military. I have friends and relatives that have served in the military and are veterans. When a service member enlists, they take two oaths. They take an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And they take an oath to follow the orders of the President as Commander-in-Chief. The first oath to the Constitution is the most important one. That's the fallback oath. It also means to preserve, protect, and defend the people of the United States. The people who are constitutionally paying their wages. When an enemy is established as the leader of our nation, the individual nation, it is the responsibility of the military to protect the people. To not do so, to follow a leader who turns the military on the people who voted him into office, is unconstitutional. And it is a traitorous act. To follow a leader like that is to commit a traitorous act. So, I hope every member of the military understands this. If you are a member of the military, if you are a member of any of the groups of people who have been laid off or fired because of Donald Trump's executive orders, if you are any type of legal representative, and you understand that this is wrong, you know that this is wrong, I offer you an alternative in myself. I know damn well that I will treat this nation better than any president before me. And I will be keeping the people updated through my website on all of the national recovery efforts that my administration will be making through the National Recovery Act, so that the people are well informed. The people want transparency, so that's what I'm giving them. Transparency. I'm giving the people something that I can offer them, that I know will help. Speaking of offering something to the people, I gave a sneak peek into a project I'm developing for the people to protect our data. It's a blockchain, and this blockchain has some pretty important security features. It has multi-layer security protocols. The only way to access your individual information in your block is with your fingerprints and a couple of other, I should say, it's a 3-step process, but there's 2 other steps in that process. The only way to access the public ledger is through the website, where it's viewable to everyone, or through your block, through the app. The public ledger displays your standard information, the hash, the time, date. It will also display how many coins are released for that transaction, and I'll explain that in a little bit. There's also going to be a validation button for people who would like to validate transactions on the blockchain. One of the security protocols is that you cannot access your full block outside of your phone. You can access your block partially enough, and just enough to be able to download some files, maybe connect to social media if you need to use a different device. But it's going to be limited, and that's one of the security features. That way, no one outside of your block, which is your phone, it's your mobile device, no one can access that information. Now, when you first create your block, you'll have the option to put in your identification information from your state-issued ID. And this is going to allow the Department of Licensing to send you a invitation to link to the Department of Licensing when they link up. You'll also be able to link your email accounts, your credit card information, your bank accounts, your social media accounts, business accounts, national blocks, and you'll be able to add photos and files that you want to have help identify you. That kind of different stuff. Once the information is linked to your block, it sends a red flag to you if someone tries to access your information or tries to use any of your accounts or enter your accounts. So it does work with security features that are already in place, like with Google and Microsoft. It also works with the random codes that the authenticators offer. Hospitals and different agencies like that, emergency services, will have reserved blocks on the blockchain, and there's a protocol for being able to claim that block by the agency. Now, there is a coin function to the blockchain, but you do not have to participate in the coin exchange or the economy. It's a crypto economy. Regardless of whether or not you actually participate, it does create coins and it stores them in your wallet. Those who do not who choose not to participate in the crypto economy that's related to the blockchain have the option to donate their coins to the national block. Those coins would be added to the national block's coins that are created and would be put into an NFT and dropped to different people who are on the national blockchain, who are connected to the national blockchain. National block, I'm sorry. If a this way you don't have to do anything with the coins if you don't want to. And it's just one of the many features of the coins. Obviously, after everything is set up, there is going to be a tutorial that teaches you about how the blockchain and the coin system works. Eventually, the coins will be tradable, and so will the NFTs. There'll be a governing NFT that is created whenever you first establish your block, and that allows you to vote on different changes to the blockchain if necessary, but it also allows you to use the blockchain to vote in state and federal, state, and local legislative legislation, I should say. Eventually, it will be connected to the voting system. That way, people who are connected to the blockchain have an easy way to cast their votes. There will always be the option, as far as I'm aware, there will always be the option to go to a polling place and vote in person. And we are probably going to keep the mail-in votes. Not everybody uses electronics. But this would be a quick way to utilize the voting system and get more votes. There's a significant amount of risk right now with our data on the internet, and I know that there are already some security protocols that have been implemented on different from different platforms, like social media platforms and such, and that's good. This is going to give an extra layer to that as well. It is decentralized though, because your block is on your phone, and the public ledger it's right there, and it's easy to access. I do hope that I've given everyone something to think about. Thank you for your time, and may our path lead to peace and prosperity.